Ready?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Brickanista Broadcast Network on YouTube. And I got my buddy Joriel Builds here because we are going live both on Instagram and on YouTube. So take it away, Joriel.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we're looking forward to having an exciting weekend update here. And I'm going live on Instagram over here in this direction while joining Brickanista on the Brickanista Broadcast Network in this direction. So we're streaming in two different places at once today. And we're hoping to have an exciting update stream together today. So we're going to wave hello to some of our friends that are joining us. Thank you for tuning in, whether you're on YouTube or on Instagram. And we're going to get rolling here in just a second to see what's new with the daily brick limit.
I do hear a little bit of an echo. Hopefully that won't be too much of a problem.
All right. Well, I'll try to turn the volume a little bit down on my end so that we can still communicate.
Okay, cool.
Without overloading the audio.
How are you? Good to see you. Spot the magic.
All right, let me invite you on an Instagram stream here.
There we go. Now I'm going to connect with you. Yeah, we're doing something new today.
Yeah, this is going to be new for all of us. We are streaming on Instagram and YouTube at the same time. And we're excited to try this out. We think it'll be cool, help streamline things, no pun intended, and hopefully reach both of our audiences at the same time live instead of there being an upload delay. So. Well, this has been the second week of our daily brick limit for the month of July in 2021. And we were hoping to go live today to share some of the builds that we saw this week that really spoke to us and that we thought were unique and interesting. And also take the opportunity to try this double live stream broadcast setup here. So thanks again for tuning in. Rick Rickham says there's a little bit of an echo. So we'll see what we can do about that. How about now?
Maybe I need to mute myself on my end when you're speaking. Let me try that.
I have my computer audio turned down. What happens if you turn your phone, your Instagram audio down?
Actually, my Instagram audio is coming through my headset. So that's what I have here. And I could turn my volume on my, let me try that. Turning my volume down on my laptop. Okay, is that better?
Yeah, let us know. Because I was hearing my voice echo a little bit. I don't know about you.
No, actually it sounds pretty good over here. Yeah.
Sounds good to me too.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. Well then, what were some of the things that you saw this week that really stood out to you? We're going to try this new thing that we started last week of actually showing some of the builds that you guys have done on the weekend update stream. So that's just something to be thinking about while you're posting, because we're going to get started here trying to share some of the cool builds that we saw.
Well, there's been a lot of just really interesting things that have come out of this. And I think we were talking earlier before the stream came up about how the guy who's doing all the states, you know, the states of the United States. I thought that was really cool. I'm going to adjust my angle here.
That'll be Lego ICT Dad, Lego X Dad.
Yes.
Forgive us on the pronunciation. I was really impressed on day 9, on July 9th, that they had Texas, the state, with a 9-brick build, but they also had the flag of Texas on the same day. And they were able to design both the state itself and that state's flag using the same number of bricks. And I've got to give a massive hats off to that.
Major kudos for that. Yes, yes, definitely. I think it was interesting too, the incorporation of several different animals. And there were 2 fish builds. Did you notice that, the fish builds that were starting to come out? So there's a Lego Dad and I think Robin Eklund, who both did fish. One was like a dots mosaic, And then the other one is little flounder or inside a fish tank, which I thought was cool. And then there was the other one that was, I think there's one floating in a thing of water, which I thought was so much fun.
Yes, so we have Robin Eklund's fish tank build that came out. Yellow rainforest is he.
Sorry, that was me.
It's okay.
Sorry.
No problem.
Brighton Bricks. It's Brighton Bricks.
Awesome. Robin Eklund, I believe, did the flounder swimming tank.
The flounder in the fish tank. So there's almost like, I think too, popsicles, ice cream, and water builds. I think because we're in the month of July, I think everybody who's in the Northern Hemisphere is thinking it's hot, it's summer, we need to work on ice cream and popsicles and other things like that.
Summer vibes.
Well, it's been like 112 degrees in, Northern California. So for those of you who are out there in California with the heat wave, I feel your pain because that was us in the Pacific Northwest last week.
It's been pretty humid down here in the Southeast over in Georgia as well. And it's funny, I've never seen that flounder piece used in a build before, but we actually saw it get used in 2 builds this week, which just sort of adds to the theming that's been connecting everyone's builds on accident. The other post I saw was from Geo, the Brick Jedi and fam, which has been cool to follow because, not only did it use this flounder piece in a second build this week, but they've also been exploring the mermaid minifigures and sort of showcasing those to us, which I don't really have a lot of familiarity with those. So seeing those come to life has been pretty cool.
Another one that I really liked was focusing specifically on the dots tiles. And What a Slacker had one with all of the pies.
Yes.
And I was thinking about it, reminded me of also that sushi build that we had last week that we focused on. So it seems like food, so popsicles, ice cream, food, pizza. There was another one so I think it's kind of the whole summer foods and just keep, we're all hungry, I guess, too, through this pandemic.
Well, so let's segue from fish to the tiles. Right at that cross section of those two, sort of trends. You mentioned earlier a Lego Dad's fish themed builds.
Yes,
I love this goldfish build that they did.
Yes,
and they've had a theme crop up of undersea creatures in dots mosaic form, like this other whale that they built recently.
Yeah.
And that sort of brings us, you were talking about showcasing the dot tiles, that there was one.
Yeah, there's just so many great dots. Yes, that's the pies, I think. That one's What a Slacker. And hello, BB Studios. Hello, Melissa Mayette. Thank you for joining us. And we are, for those of you who are wondering, we're both on YouTube and on Instagram at the same time. So thank you for helping us with this experiment too. So
yes, we appreciate you.
And the Blue Budgie's here. Hello, Blue Budgie.
Yeah, we got this 2-camera setup going on today.
Yeah.
And so that's why if you see me go off frame like this, that's me trying to showcase these builds on Brickanista's YouTube broadcast as well.
And that's why I'm looking to the left here for the YouTube camera and looking to the right here for the Instagram camera. So, so we'll just like wave at both. Hopefully everybody's enjoying it.
Here's some of those food tiles, which we talked last week about. One of the cool things that this does is really showcase what pieces are out there and what pieces you may not be familiar with. But there was a awesome food dot tile post on day 8 from Lego Why Not, where the whole post was just featuring 8 fun food tiles. And this challenge really provides an education in the proliferation of Lego pieces, what is out there.
Yes, definitely. And
no
the other
problem.
shout out,
absolutely be patient.
Another shout out to Brickworm, because, you know, Brickworm had participated in the very first daily brick limit, and she's been taking her Liz character that we've been using for Tricky Bricks and using that Liz character in her builds, and she's created a character called Liz Worm, which
Yes.
is Brickworm as Liz, or Liz as Brickworm, however you want to look at it. And Brickworm's sig fig has dragon wings. It's the dragon minifig, I think the CMF. And so she's now put wings on on Liz and kind of created this whole dragon theme going together. Yeah, it's very cool.
It's a crossover that we never expected, but that we have loved immediately.
Well, it was funny because she posted a build for Tricky Bricks for her Micro City, and the Micro City build is, she used Liz Worm as her name for the builder.
Liz Worm has arrived on the scene.
Yes, Liz Worm is now a thing. So kudos to my friend Brickworm. She's she's got a great sense of humor.
Well, Barb Builds has joined us. Barb Builds, I see you just joined our Instagram stream. I hope you're still there, because right before we started streaming, you know, one of the things that we're doing with these weekend updates is trying to showcase some of the builds that we love seeing over the course of the week. And I wanted to do a shout out to Barb Builds really quickly, because there's, you know, one of the things we talk about is the little themes that get developed over the course of the contest, you know, that just crop up on the fly. And Barb Builds has had this really fun theme that has turned up about making these plate monsters, of taking Lego plates, adding some dots and some other pieces to it to create these little monster characters.
And I think also the teeth were also used, I think, by Ms. Slowbrickda. I think she also, I think, made a monster too, I think. Or maybe she was commenting on that particular build. Yeah,
these those pieces work really well for teeth for little brick built characters like this. It's been fun seeing, you know, this little line of characters grow and expand over time, especially, you know, not to bring in other brands in the middle of this, but you know, the new Monsters at Work show just debuted on Disney Plus, the spin-off TV show from the Monsters Inc. movies.
Oh, right.
So it sort of put me in like a monster mood, and it's been really funny to see these little characters develop.
And speaking of monsters, there's also the influence of pop culture. So there's been several Loki types of builds as well. And I would imagine Bad Batch is probably going to show up eventually as well.
Yes, I was just thinking yesterday about whether we would start seeing some Bad Batch builds.
Did you see the croaky?
Yes, I did see the croaky, and I'm glad that you said something, because I made one of the croakies. There were two croakies.
Exactly.
And I posted one, and I'm trying to navigate the Instagram app on my iPad at the moment.
Right.
But there was also one from our friend and frequent daily brick limiter, Lego Space Geekess, who is one of our members of our DBL team on Instagram, who is helping leave comments.
Thank you so much, Space Geekess.
This is her croaky build that she posted on the 8th, which I thought it was funny because we both posted them on the 8th with the same number of bricks. So that worked out really conveniently.
And then the other thing that's been interesting too is there have been some builds that have these larger characters that I think are only one piece or maybe a few pieces, because I'm looking at one by Photosynthetic Human, which is the, it's a 9 brick. Here, I'll show it to my camera too. This one, where it's got the angry bird holding that. And so for those of you who are have a chance to, and I think there was another one where the character is something I'm not familiar with. So it was great seeing, you know, some new pieces that I wasn't familiar with in the collection, whether it's a piece or a character. I just think it's really cool that we get introduced to all of these different, you know, parts that are in the collection. I'll see if I can find that other one.
Here is one character. This is another post from Photosynthetic Human. That features Lotso Huggin Bear from Toy Story 3. And these
that's awesome where it's from.
Yeah, this is from Toy Story 3.
Toy Story 3. I was going, I need that bear. Where is that bear? Or if they had a panda in the same shape, that would be great.
Ooh, yes, that would be perfect. Bye, Barb Builds. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's been fun because this has been a week of discovering the sort of intellectual property characters that Lego has that I didn't realize. Like there's the Lotso there was the flounder that we mentioned earlier, the angry bird that you pointed out just now. So those have been fun to see the character pieces and, like you were saying earlier, the tile pieces, which you know, I will give you a really quick shout out. I loved seeing your dots, tiles,
my dots bracelet,
BBN logo bracelet. I thought that was pretty cool. You know, a little bit of personalized merch for your channel. It looks really good.
I haven't made it into merch, but I ended up building a cylindrical building using dots, and I was so excited when I got it to work. But here's another one I wanted to share. Is there's also a theme of friendship, which I've been really excited to see. Like here's a friendship between Captain America and I think which character?
The Red Skull.
Red Skull.
Yep, his nemesis.
Captain America and Red Skull have been friends now, which I think is super cool. And there was another one of the daughter and her, I think her father, that were together. That was very, very sweet. That was a sweet build too. Let me see if I can find that one.
All right.
Yeah. It's just, you know, it's just the imagination that people have, and it's just wonderful to see.
Now, while you're searching for that, another member I wanted to give a shout out to, just for doing something that doesn't always get done, which is to make multiple posts per day. And, you know, if you build 10 builds if you build 10, 11 brick builds, it doesn't really, you know, fit the spirit of the challenge. So we say that you need to do 10 posts, 10 builds, which, by the way, we just hit that milestone yesterday. So if you built one build every day of July so far, we just passed July 10th, day 10. And if you've built something for each of those days, then that means that you are officially in consideration for our gift card giveaway at the end of the month, which will take everyone that's posted 10 different days and draw their, you know, put them into a wheel that will spin to pick 3 winners of these gift cards. And one thing that I did want to say is that it's been cool to see some folks post like, hey, I just kept going and I ended up building 3 different builds on day 9, or I built 2 separate builds for day 6. And while that doesn't change your standing for the prize drawing, we are considering those in the stats. So we're making special note this time around, because one thing that we love doing is making a list of all the important statistics that came out of this. How many builds there were, how many pieces went into all of this. And, you know, if you build more than 1 build on a given day, that's going to go into bumping the stats just a little bit.
Did you see Ms. Slobricta's comment? Woohoo, can I stop now? We have not forced you to do this, Ms. Slobricta.
Yes.
So here's the one that I was talking about earlier, the very sweet one with the father and the daughter. That is from Teach to Kinder. So this one just brought a nice little smile to my face. Just so sweet. Just the little subtle, because they, you know, they put the daughter on top of like a little carousel, you know, so just the placement and the camera angle, it was just so sweet. So I think that's the nice thing about this week, is that now that we're up to 8, 9, 10 pieces, 11 pieces today, that you can have 2 characters now, you know, interacting with each other. So that one was one that I wanted to just shout out. Very, very sweet builds.
Yeah, absolutely. One user that I think really exemplifies this really well, but also just had a really cool theme going on that I wanted to share with everyone. If you haven't seen, and forgive me, you can leave a comment in the video if I butcher your pronunciation, all apologies. But Stygian Vortman's builds, they've been doing these awesome micro architecture builds. And there have been a few days in there where they've hosted multiple builds with the same number of bricks. So for example, not day 9,
Yes.
July 9th, 9 bricks, this awesome micro architecture house with a little micro tree out in the front yard. And then the same day, nine pieces, 9 bricks, a micro Parthenon from, you know, ancient Greece.
Yeah, I think a lot of these micro builds have been interesting too, just the interpretation, because you have a little bit of abstraction along with the you know, the gist of the build about what they're trying to do. And I wanted to shout out Oliver's Hobbies. Did you see this one with the waves? So it's very simple build, but it's waves crashing against a cliff. So it's kind of a little bit abstract, but you do get the gist of what he's trying to accomplish. So, and that's why the descriptions are so important, because if you saw this without the description, you might not know that that was waves at the bottom. It might be thought of as an abstract sculpture. But I thought it was just really innovative. And I was like, ooh, I like how we did those waves. I might have to use that in another build. I think that's the other thing I really like, is learning some new techniques from other builders. And going back to the friendship one, here's another one I'd like to shout out as far as friendship goes. This is from Jennifer Jam Jam A-Full. Did you see this one with the
Yes.
the unlikely friends, the dinosaur and the little baby, or the little pumpkin?
Oh, it's the is it the hermit crab piece?
Yeah, actually it is the hermit crab. Here's the second one. The second, it's like a slideshow. So
I'm glad you brought that up.
So adorable. Yeah, there's this one where it's on the back, like riding on the dinosaur.
I'm glad that you brought that build up, because I really love the hermit crab pieces, and I think they've really sort of taken the Lego world by storm with their cuteness. Because Double L Bricks posted a build that features 2 of them. These little orange hermit crab pieces with a white stud and a white ice cream cone swirl piece on top make this cute little hermit crab character that came with one of the CMFs, one of the collectible minifigs.
Yeah, and I think that's what's been interesting, is that the pairings, it goes back to what I was mentioning earlier about how when you have 2 characters interacting with each other, and what kinds of friendships can you build, like the dinosaur and the hermit crab. I mean, that's memorable too when you're looking at that. And then how are they interacting with each other? And I mentioned the father and the daughter. There's another one, I think there's a mummy as well. So there's a shout out to the mummy. Let me see if I can find that one. Just like I said, these were just so much fun, and lots of pop culture references. I think that's the thing that kind of struck home. And in fact, here, I'll just go ahead, and since we're talking about pop culture references, we have the Space Odyssey 2001.
Thank you. Yes, I wanted to share that one.
So that's where, you know, and this goes back to a character interacting with something. And that is so iconic, right? The obelisk that you see in the middle of the Space 2001, or Space Odyssey.
So Blue Budgie, to answer your question, and for anyone else watching, the hashtag daily brick limit is what you need to use if you're trying to look at other people's builds. You can type in the hashtag and see everyone's builds from all of time, but you can also go to the account at daily brick limit, and on a daily basis, I'm updating the story for that account with the builds that get posted for that day. And then you can revisit each day as a story highlight on the main profile. So whether you're going and just watching the story for that day, or you go to the main profile, the best way to keep up with the builds is the story highlight, because I have them organized by day. If you want to see what everyone built for day 9, you just click on the story highlight on the main daily brick limit profile, and you can scroll through every 8 brick build, 9 brick build, 10 brick build. They're all collected right there for everybody to go through and take a look.
It's been awesome. I really appreciate you doing that too. It's really been a great way to track. And here's the mummy one that I was mentioning, that this one, it's kind of like a pear. But the thing I love about this is that they use Photoshop too to put the title, the mummy. And they put the mummy and, you know, the colors of the, you know, that kind of parchment yellow kind of color with the black. It really makes it pop.
Hey, while y'all are here, Lego, ICT Dad, and Double L Bricks. When we're done streaming, you might want to go back 10 minutes from this point and watch a little bit of the beginning, because we just did shout outs of both of y'all. And we really appreciate your creativity that's gone in the last couple of weeks, and we shouted out a couple of your builds. So definitely go back to the beginning and watch a little more later. On the pop culture and movie side of things, there was another user I really wanted to shout out. Now, this user has been taking the approach that we see sometimes of working up towards one larger build just by adding one piece at a time, rather than building something new each and every day, which that strategy always fascinates me, and it's always really cool to see it evolve. But this is from Spot the Magic Ninja, and their theme since the beginning of the month has been War of the Worlds. So at this point on day 11, we've gotten this far, but they're making a build that sort of puts together this alien invasion scene while including quotations from the original War of the Worlds book. So for example,
that's really cool.
It's a pity they make themselves so unapproachable. It would be curious to know how they live on another planet. You might learn a thing or two. So definitely keep an eye out for their builds.
The stories are great. And I want to say hello to the people here on YouTube. So hello, Hooded One, Aubrey, Brickworm, Hooded, Lil Scrap, Chief Brick Geek also. And apparently Chief Brick Geek says it's 117 degrees out there. It's like, oh my gosh, stay cool. He's in Vegas. Yeah.
Oh, Spot the Magic Ninja is here. Awesome. We're glad you were tuned in today, because we've really enjoyed seeing that story evolve.
And this is the first time we've done this both on YouTube and on Instagram TV. So thanks for participating. And now that I have the chat going, I appreciate you guys waiting. You're probably going, what is happening? Hello, Taro Kadutinen from Finland. So yeah, we're actually doing the daily brick limit update. And normally on Sundays, I have a special guest. And I had mentioned to Joriel, I said, I don't have a guest today, so we could do this kind of co-streaming. So if we do this again in this format, it'll be on Saturday, because that's when we normally do our updates, Saturday at 1 o'clock. But because next week I do have a guest.
The special guest. Today the special guest is your build.
That's right. All of your builds are the special guests on the Brickanista Broadcast Network and on Instagram TV with Joriel Builds. So that's why if you see me going back and forth between cameras, that's what's happening. So yeah, and for those of you who are wondering what we're talking about, hashtag Daily Brick Limit on Instagram. You'll see some posts there. I was just talking about the mummy. And the mummy is, you pretty much can take 2 sig figs and with the accessories. And then what I liked about this was the Photoshop that they used, how they used Photoshop to make the build really pop. So
another great, while this person's actually watching on YouTube, hopefully they're still there. Another great one day at a time overarching build that we've seen has been from Chief Brick Geek, and that their build started just with this simple oxygen tank from the space minifigures. And gradually we've gotten more and more of the actual astronaut. So for example, on this day, they didn't include the head, because that would have been 5 bricks, but they got the tank and the helmet and the feet and the torso. And then eventually the spaceman has suited up, or the astronaut And one piece at a time, we have seen them constructing their own spaceship until we've gotten to this point today, where you're starting to see the controls come together, a little bit more sculpting on the ship, and the spaceship is gradually coming together, just like Benny built his own spaceship in the Lego movie. So Brick Geek, that's been really fun to watch come together over the last couple of weeks.
The other thing I've really enjoyed is the photography, where you have some of the photography that's outdoors. And this one was really fun. This was from Lego Why Not, with the carrots that are coming out of the ground. So when you have carrots that, it's like, you know, that's what I could do. I could take 11 carrots and put them in the ground and take a photo. So yeah, I thought that was really clever and lots of fun to see that. And if I look closely at this, I think she actually intertwined them with real leaves of some things that may be in her garden. So it looks like it's actually coming out of the carrot, even though it's clearly not a Lego piece. So cool things.
That's sort of Lego in the real world.
Yeah, Lego in the real world. And we've had photo challenges like that with Tricky Bricks before. Yeah. So now, fun things to do.
Talking about, you know, the different themes that people have created. This is someone who I don't believe that we shouted out last time, but that I absolutely have to, because they have been so remarkably consistent in their theming since January's Daily Brick Limit Challenge, and that is Brad's Life 11. Because Brad has just nonstop done Daily Brick Limit spaceships, and it's been really cool. So for example, for this month, here was their day 2 build. Really cool. They took a really iconic piece and managed to make a spaceship with only 2 pieces. But the amount of variety and creativity that they get out of doing a different spaceship every single day has been really fun to keep up with, even since January. Here's one that I really liked that they made yesterday on the 10th that uses Switch colored pieces. So it sort of looks like a Nintendo Switch spaceship in a way. I don't know if that was the intent, but that's, you know, definitely how it looks with those colors they use. But definitely follow their account, because they already just have this nonstop spaceship creativity that goes all the way back to January's Daily Brick Limit. So here is January 20th of last year, this sort of seafoam green Star Destroyer type build. It's been really fun to keep up with.
Well, I wanted to do another shout out, and I think this, I have to go back and see where this person's from. Hazer, who did the Snoopy build, Lucas Hazer. Did you see this? This reminded me of Joel Marbella. He did the, Joel Marbella did the Woodstock, and Lucas did this one, which was a Snoopy build. And this goes back to framing, right? That you can see that there's a cartoon background. So I think he may have taken an actual Snoopy backdrop and then incorporated the Lego on top of it. So this goes back to, you know, actually he's from Brazil. Heiser is from Brazil, Sao Paulo. So it's just fun to see how people are taking this challenge and using the different tools that are available to them.
Let us know in the comments on the Instagram feed, especially. My AirPods just died.
Oh, no.
And I had to turn up the volume a little bit on my phone, and I'm hoping that it's not causing too much of an echo. I don't think that it is, because I'm not hearing any.
No, I'm not hearing an echo.
But if you're
I think we're
hearing
okay.
an echo at home, please let me know.
Something about Yoda.
So that I can adjust accordingly.
A Yoda trickhead.
Oh, I saw something
it's
about
hard
a
for
Yoda
me to
brick
see the
earlier.
chat. Oh, okay, there it is. Yeah. Wow. It's interesting that Instagram, I'm still trying to get used to Instagram, folks, so I apologize. I'm more of a YouTuber, so going back and forth.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I think that Instagram is still trying to get used to Instagram too, because it is, you know, I've been streaming on Instagram for a while now, and it is difficult to scroll through the comments. Like that is
Yes,
just something that is unfortunately difficult on this app. So
exactly.
no fault, no blame.
It's just we're
I've,
getting used to all the different technology, I think. I
I've
know that for
really,
me, it's been interesting, this whole streaming journey.
I've really enjoyed seeing all of the sort of like undersea pieces that have been utilized, especially the coral bricks, you know, not the coral, the color, but like the coral, like the coral reef. Those have
Yes.
been some really excellent pieces that have been showcased a lot recently, and I'm trying to find some good ones. You know, this one was one we showed earlier, but the Geo the Brick Jedi and Fam doing featuring mermaids has been an awesome opportunity to see some of those coral bricks get used. But there have been a lot.
We were talking about the fish too.
Yes, and the fish. Here's another figure that I didn't know existed. This is a Ursula mini doll from The Little Mermaid that Matthew Builds Bricks used.
Yeah.
In addition to the flounder builds that we've seen, and you can see one of those coral builds in the background, one of those coral pieces.
I was talking to Matthew Builds Bricks on his live IGTV channel about how Ursula looks a little skinny there.
Yeah.
I think I have an Ursula that is, I guess, the traditional Ursula. Yeah. So I was like, she's started using Noom or one of those apps.
Now, one thing that now that we've passed day 10, one thing I do want to remind everybody, as you know, we're tagging our friends and getting more friends to join us. If you're watching this on YouTube or on Instagram and you started late, we've seen a couple of late entries, and that's awesome.
Yeah,
because
that's
you
fine.
can build as much as you want. You can catch up as much as you want, one of two ways. You can either start from the day that you join and keep building forwards, or you can go back and catch up on some days that you missed. We've seen both. And one of our new participants that I want to shout out to is Kelly Bartlett 31. They joined on day 9, and right out of the gate, on the first day they joined, they had a really fascinating first build, which was this double helix.
Yes, yes, I love that.
Yeah, this was an awesome build from Kelly Bartlett 31. And like Kelly, anybody else that joins, if you join mid-month, you're clear to just go ahead and start building from then on out and see what you can come up with, you know, mid-month. Because all that we ask is that people submit builds for 10 different days. You know, even if that involves catching up on some of the days that you missed, as long as you submit builds for 10 different days, then you're in consideration for the gift card giveaway at the end of the month, where we'll be giving away 3 gift cards online, either for the Lego store or for a Target if you prefer, you know, somewhere where you can go and get some Lego for yourself, featuring some online gift cards that we'll be giving away at the end of the month.
So Aubrey has mentioned in the YouTube chat that she needs to do some more. She's missed the last few days. Don't worry about missing some of the days, because there's 31 days in the month of July. So feel free to jump in when you can. And as long as you get 10 in, then you qualify for one of the gift cards. So there's plenty of time. Don't worry. It's all good.
Yeah, I myself have, I've missed a lot of builds this month, but that's only because July is a very busy month for me. And back in August of 2020, when we started this, I did not make it to the end of the month at all. I probably made 9 or 10 builds in August. And then in July, I was like, okay, this thing is kicking it into high gear. I've got to finish the month off. And I did every day of that month, except for, I think, I want to say one that was like the 29th or the 30th, right at the very end. And this month is a busy month for me, so I haven't quite gotten to do every day. But again, please use that as permission. If you miss a day or two here and there, don't worry one bit. It's okay.
Yeah, and what's I've had to do is I've had to do like 2 builds in one day, where because I've been super busy this July as well. And so I think I did 9 and 10 together on the same day. And I just posted 9 first and then 10. And then now I know I have 11 to do. I might get to 11 today, or if I get to it tomorrow, I'll just post them together. But yeah, make this easy for yourself. Really, the important thing is we want you to build. And we want you to build so then that way you can, share some of your work, and also just getting these new techniques from other people has been so much fun. And I hope you've been finding that helpful too, as far as just getting ideas from other people.
Well, I'll tell you, I got a couple more shout outs to give before we wrap things up here. But on that note of like new ways to build, I was really impressed with a user that you mentioned at the beginning of the stream, which was Brighton Bricks. And what they did on day 9, and I believe that this is something that they are just doing in general as a general building technique. But their day 9 was one piece of a Lego jigsaw puzzle of a Pac-Man ghost.
Oh,
in the background, they've taken the picture of the Pac-Man ghost and broken it up into 9 different sections. And then their day 9 build was to recreate one of those sections in 9 bricks in order to create one piece of a Lego puzzle of this actually, now that I'm reading it, built off of, I think it's a 4x4 puzzle, and each piece is one Lego square like this. And that, I thought, they said here, it's one of the puzzles I do in my workshops, and it just seems like a really exciting way to build, or a cool way to put a mosaic together. And
I think a lot of people forget that mosaics don't have to be a base plate with a stud on top. There's a lot of mosaics that are sideways kind of built, and we should look at that. I wanted to do a shout out for nice parts usage as well for Brick 387. I don't know if you saw this airplane. This airplane uses at the core of it one of those headlight bricks on its side. So it goes back to sideways building and looking at shapes differently. And just, you always think about the propeller when you see it on a plane for a standard Lego build. It's always, you see each individual propeller, but while it's flying, it's spinning. So it's okay to have a clear one. So it's like you get permission too by looking at the way other people build too.
There's one other nice parts usage that I wanted to shout out, which this might have been, is this the same person that you just shouted out, or is it, this is someone else. No, this is the same person who has got from the beginning, because we did some shout outs for them last week too. They just have such nice parts usage all the time. And yesterday's day 10 build that they posted today was a Sphinx build that used a lot of nice things. Clearly there's this like Egyptian pharaoh minifigure head up here, but then they also have some snot building that uses like the minifigure legs as the front paws of the Sphinx. Just really nice part usage since the competition began, really. So that's funny that we both thought nice part usage and went to the same user. So big hats off to you, Brick 387 for that. Big time.
And then Brickworm mentions in YouTube about that the puzzle micro city. She's really impressed with that, especially it's on a 6x6. So for those of you who don't know about Brickworm's quilts, her brick quilts that she's been doing, which have been on 6x6 squares or plates, it's very similar to what they had on LegoCon, where they're calling it, the 6x6, I guess, community build. She's been doing the brick quilts for a while now. I think it's been about a year and a half. So yeah, maybe a puzzle micro city might be another theme. I think she's still thinking about the next theme, but stay tuned for that, because I know she's going to be rolling out another quilt sometime soon.
I had one last shout out. This tied together with one last reminder for everybody. Just a shout out to all the members of our DVL team that we've assembled that have been working around the clock to provide really uplifting and encouraging comments to all of our posters and all of our participants on all of their builds. We really appreciate having them be a part of this. We've given some shout outs last week to Lego Space Geek S. Today I want to give a shout out to Brick Princess Buttercup,
Yes.
specifically as a thank you for being part of our team and for being an awesome part of our community, but also for a really awesome build from day 9, which is this absolutely immaculate micro built baseball stadium.
She does some amazing work. But it's funny, if you look at that description for that baseball stadium, she mentions that, okay, I have the diamond upside down. Oh, well, so it's kind of like, it's okay. She says, I'm Australian, so I'm going to have it upside down. And I think I mentioned in my comment that I know Australian Football League is on an oval pitch. So if I were to do something similar, I don't think I'd get even close to how she's been able to capture the sense of a baseball field. So I thought that was really funny. Just she has some really whimsical descriptions. So, and that's why it's also important. Don't just look at the photo, read the descriptions, because the descriptions will say a lot as well.
Absolutely. Ty, your write-up does a lot. They say that a picture speaks 1,000 words, but there's also a lot of power that can be brought out of the pairing of the picture with the words. It's 1,000 words plus a few more, and that interaction really has a lot of creative potential. So, as always, the door is wide open. Your creativity is greatly enjoyed and appreciated by everyone in our community. So keep posting, even though we've passed day 10. Not everyone has time to do it every day, but definitely keep it up so that you can explore the potential for yourself, and to experience the difference in the challenge that crops up that we're really going to start getting into now. And as we enter week 3, the difference between building something for day 1, day 10, day 20, day 30, the challenge changes every week. Right. And so I'm really excited as we start heading deeper into the double digit brick builds to see how different people approach that challenge in different ways.
And my Palisade characters will be showing up soon, because they usually are in the 12 to 15 to 16 range. So I'm excited to be sharing some of those in the future. I have to think about what's going to be next, because I know I've done a banana bull and I've done an ox for the year of the ox. So I'm looking forward to what animal's coming from the Brickanista next.
Yeah, I have one thing that I usually do towards the later end of my double digit bricks, right when we start hitting towards the 20s, is I try to explore the different super baby dessert vehicles.
Oh yeah, super baby dessert vehicles.
Tie into Brickanista's
the super sewer baby sagas.
Super sewer baby and the the Super Lego Baby Champion League.
Yes, Super Baby Champion League, which the theme song is made by Joriel Builds too. And you can listen to that on Joriel's channel, and I think I have a video also on my channel on YouTube. So it's fun.
So yeah, we're going to start exploring some of those characters and some of that world a little bit ourselves over the next couple of weeks. And we encourage you guys to keep your creativity up. We thank you for being a part of this. Definitely keep commenting on other people's builds, because that's one of the most important parts of what we do with the Daily Brick Night is, leaving those comments for other people, because that's something that's really important, is for us to celebrate what each other is building. So please, we have a team that tries to make sure that every post has one comment and that everybody is doing what they need to stay on top of the requirements to be considered for the prize giveaway. But absolutely, please, see yourself as an extension of that, and go out there and comment away on all of the builds that you see, because everybody that participates puts something personal and something unique into what they create. And, they absolutely deserve your encouragement.
It's amazing amount of wonderful artists that we have here in the DBL community. And no matter what your age, no matter what time that you start on the challenge, it's just so much fun. And we really appreciate you participating this month. It's been great.
I think that's a good place as any to wrap up. I definitely appreciate everybody's patience with us as we tried our new 2 cameras, 2
Yeah.
format
Let
live
us know.
broadcast.
Let us know if this worked, or like I said, for me, it's hard to keep up with both chats. So I've been trying to keep up with YouTube chat. So if anybody has been saying something directly to me, you might have to do it twice in this channel.
I try to keep my eye. Oh, I don't have the YouTube chat in front of me. I have Zoom over here. I've tried to keep up with the Instagram chat, but like we've talked about, Instagram's chat is a little bit weird. So we're definitely doing our best to keep up with comments so that we can stay engaged while we're doing this. But this definitely helps us engage both of our audiences at the same time. Instead of
and then you don't have to worry about me uploading the video later, that you can actually listen to Joriel directly about, you know, what he's been working on and how the updates are going. So this actually is working out great, for at least from our side. I hope it's working okay from your side as well.
Absolutely. And hopefully next week we'll be back to doing this on Saturday instead of on Sunday at our usual time. So
I won't be able to do it next Sunday because I have a guest. In fact,
so we can't do it next Sunday. So
can I do a quick promo for next Sunday?
Please do. If you're watching on Instagram, please go subscribe to Brickanista's YouTube channel, because she does awesome things.
So next Sunday, I will have RJ Coughlin, who is one of the coordinators for BrickCon. And they will be announcing whether BrickCon is going to be live or going to be virtual on the 15th. And my interview with him is on the 18th. So I will be doing a Brickanista on the Move episode. So I'm actually going to be driving my car to his home and setting up my table outdoors, because we still have to keep 6 feet apart. But he will be talking about BrickCon, whether it's live or virtual, how they came to that decision, etc. So that'll be next week at this time, 1 o'clock.
That is very cool.
Yes. So thank you. Thank you for the plug. And we really appreciate everyone's participation. And I'm looking forward to next week to see what other builds come out.
Yeah, for sure. Keep posting. Good luck. Be creative. Have fun. And play well. And until next time, thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you later.
May the clutch be with you.
Peace.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Take care.